All right. Shalom Yasharallah. Kol halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Waharaka Kodash Brakatham. I like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Akyam, pushing its truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Akwat that they're listening. What I have here on the screen is an excerpt of the Spirit Airlines ceasing, as a business. They're I think they filed bankruptcy like in over a year ago or so, and they tried to stay afloat. Then other things factored in. I think the last straw, if I'm not mistaken, was the fuel cost due to the war with Iran, right? So they just like, it didn't happen overnight per se, but it did shut down operations. And this video is going to go into detail, and I'm going to get some scriptures.
This morning at 3 a.m., Spirit Airlines ceased operations. So what that means is Spirit does not have airplanes in the air flying as of this morning. Also, their call centers are closed, and they don't have staff at ticket counters. So if you have a flight scheduled with Spirit Airlines, don't show up at the airport. There will be no one here to assist you.
Okay, so just to clarify that last statement I made, in a sense, it happened overnight, but it's basically been in the works per se, because there was supposed to be a deal where there was going to be a 500. Let me see, make sure I'm stating this correctly. Either 500 billion or 500 million bailout. One moment, Baba Shah. Spirit Airlines bailout cost. Yes, Salakia. So it was a $500 million bailout from the Trump administration, right? Okay. So it did. So I do want to clarify, make that clear. So it did shut down overnight. So it did happen abruptly, but there were talks in times past of them filing bankruptcy. And I want to make sure I'm straight on that too. Let me see. Spirit Airlines first filed bankruptcy in 2024. Yeah, it was November 2024, Chapter 11. So, not saying that, okay, there were problems ongoing, but, it did, they kind of seemed, but it did happen abruptly, though, really, I guess, once agreements couldn't be made, because the government would have had 90% stake in it as well, man. So yeah, we in some interesting times, and we know what times it is. Prophetic times, right? Prophecy. This is Ecclesiastes chapter, bear me, Baba Koshah, chapter 12, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Okay, who are those strong men? Though, hey, those strong men are CEOs. CEOs are being brought more to the forefront now too, because they see a decline in the failing of their corporations now. What's a thumbnail I seen? I didn't even press it. It was a thumbnail of the Chipotle CEO talking about, if people want more food, just ask for it in the bowl. They Salakia, if you want extra food, just ask for more, and it will be supplied free. Which those who from time to time, for convenience, of course, I'll eat Chipotle. Never had a bad experience with them, but those who know, man, that usually get hit with that $1.95 extra talk, right? Or it'll be an extra $2, or it'll be extra $3. I got to keep in mind we're in the time of inflation, So, you know, that guac that went up. We know that guacamole and that little extra beef, extra chicken, extra barbacoa, you know, that still went up, man. That's still, hey, that's the times we're in. So they're pushing these CEOs more to the forefront. And that guy who was there, who was speaking, he he's responsible for, I guess, the air navigation, I guess you would like to call it, you know, with in the airplane field, right? Because I believe he was matter of fact, let me check that. Salakia, I forgot that gentleman's name. Let me see. Sean Duffy, yeah. The he's a transportation secretary, because I remember him speaking on the back pay of TSA agents, if I'm not mistaken, and so forth. I think that was him. Okay, so yeah, so when they had that going on, so let me continue to read. Let me reread that over for you as well. This is back in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. In the In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few and darkened, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Verse 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And that's what, going into the quality of music. Everything is, bro, everything is out of there. Look at the music industry. These niggas or scrambling to, like, bro, it's gotten so weak. And hey, they brought out the AI music thing. You know, they're signing artificial intelligence artists, right? You know, now, you know, so a lot of people are being pushed out of the way, man. You know, and this is through the spirit of prophecy, man. Okay, you had it where the DEI thing, that was a big thing. Now more of these corporations are going to get up out of here too if they struggling, right? And hey, and like they always say, it's a given. Anytime it's disaster, guess what? Your most common minorities are going to feel it. It's going to be the so-called Negro, the so-called Latino, and the so-called Native American, and everybody else who ain't on their shit. Hey, you gonna fall under that umbrella too. Okay. So we see what's we see what's taking place, man. If y'all could bear me, Baba Kosha. No, it's not the right one. I'll start at verse 14. This is Second Ezra chapter 15. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Well, hey, we see people we see that in the political world, right? And we see people just downright just beefing, right? And it's something I'll never stop talking about. I believe it was last year, if I'm thinking correctly. Hey, when the guy got his head got decapitated in Dallas, Texas, man. Okay, that boy used an ancient sword. You did, you know, the modern day sword is your a firearm, right? A handgun. That's the modern day sword. But you know, some people still carry ancient swords and whatnot. And we remember it was Jake. He was a Cuban Jake from the tribe of Manasseh, and he cut Elam. I believe it was Elam's head off, man. You know, so this prophecy ain't no light thing, man. These prophecies ain't no light thing. Okay, let me reread that again, verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. People are very bold, bro. You mentioned law enforcement or judges, bro. People don't give a damn about that. They don't care about the mayor. They don't care about the Senate. They don't care about the administration who's ever in the White House. So this just further goes to prove, man, prophecy will remain undefeated. And if you're not tuned in to what's going on, hey, too bad. Okay, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's what and call halal yah bashim yasha, and shout out to the priest, you know, the elder, the brother Sha'ar. He quoted the scripture when we were talking about the current situation with Spirit Airlines. You know, you had people who, nothing here in Babylon is guaranteed. This is all temporal, man. But you know, if you've been on a job for 10 or 11 years, you know, you're showing you're an asset to a company. So some Jake thought. And then just to abruptly, okay. So I just still want to clarify, because I know they filed bankruptcy in 2024, but they shut down abruptly, bro. People are still stuck. You dig? People are going on vacation. People in another state, and they got to go through another airline just to get back home, bro. Yeah, he is something else. He's a real piece of shit. That's for sure. Verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay? People are on edge, man. Rightfully so. Because you don't know what's next. If big corporations is quitting such as that, and everything's getting tight with the gas going up, cost of living, yeah, it's about to get ugly out here. Okay? A bloody summer, as Jake at my job says. He said, man, it's just going to be a bloody summer. He can feel it. Jake's not even the truth, but what? That's that zeal. Okay? Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with their sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? You know, and I may backdoor this lesson with a situation where Jake got judged. It looked like Issachar just tried to, take